The NBA season is a quarter of the way through. If it were to end now, who would win the awards? We are going to be going through the MVP award, the Defensive Player of the Year award, the Clutch Player of the Year award, and the Rookie of the Year award. We aren't going through the Most Improved, Sixth Man of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year because they are more dependent on a larger sample size. Starting off with MVP, we have to talk about Nikola Jokic. He's averaging 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists, triple-double numbers on 55% field goal effectiveness. The problem with Jokic's case for MVP is that his team is currently 14-8, and teams that players that win MVP usually have to be on a dominant team, and so far the Nuggets are not the dominant team in the West. They are the third seed. So yes, Jokic's stat line and his performances do reflect MVP numbers. His team does not have the record for it to be able to win MVP so far this season. Due to this fact, it would eliminate players such as Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, who are having historic seasons in their own right. So who fits the criteria for MVP right now? Well, there are two players who are on their respective one seeds leading their teams to great records. The first player is Anthony Edwards. He's led his Timberwolves to a record of 16 wins and 4 losses, with a stat line of 26, 6, and 5, shooting at a 45% clip, but this has been able to result with the Timberwolves having a 16 win and 4 loss record, resulting in the 1 seed in the West. The other MVP candidate is from the Celtics. His name is Jason Tatum. The Celtics are 15 wins and 5 losses right now, with him leading the way. He has a stat line of 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists on a 50% field goal shooting. So out of these two players, who wins it? Well, Jason Tatum wins it in my eyes. He has been more efficient than Anthony Edwards, and even though he has lost one more game, he has been the better player, with a team full of superstars. Moving on to the Rookie of the Year. For Rookie of the Year, there are two main contenders that are clear and obvious: Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren was the second pick of last year's draft. This season, he is averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. The reason why he's even eligible is because he was injured all last season. But regardless of that, he has been a monster on a Thunder team that is 13-7 and has helped them get vital wins in the West to help the Thunder to a high seed. Whereas Wembanyama is on a struggling Spurs that has lost 14 straight, and he is putting up good numbers. He's putting up 19, 10, and 3 on 43% efficiency, but he's not doing it on the efficiency that Chet is. So who is the Rookie of the Year? Well, so far, I'd have to give it to Chet, but when it gets around to the end of the year, I believe some of the hype that has come around with Victor Wembanyama may convince the voters to vote for Vic. An honourable mention for this award is Asar Thompson. He's been so good defensively for the Pistons, but regardless of that, it still hasn't helped the Pistons win a game. Moving on to our next award, the Clutch Player of the Year. There is only two options for this award: Stephen Curry and LeBron James. And there isn't much of an argument. Steph Curry hasn't played enough games. He has played most of the season. He missed 4 games. But LeBron James is currently top of the NBA for clutch points. He is averaging 25, 7, and 7 on 55% field goal and 40% from 3. Even just today, he didn't even have to go to the clutch, but he scored 30 points, 5 rebounds and 8 assists to carry the Lakers. Against Phoenix, he scored 15 of their 23 points in the fourth quarter, and he assisted 2 baskets, so he contributed to 19 of the 23 points in that quarter. LeBron James is your clutch player of the year. Moving on to defensive player of the year. I think there are only 2 options for this award. 1, Rudy Gobert. The Timberwolves have one of the best defenses in the NBA this season, and Rudy Gobert is the anchor to that. He's having a great defensive season and looks like he is back to his best from 2 years ago before the Timberwolves traded for him, and that looked like a disaster until this year. The other candidate is Anthony Davis. He's not the leader in blocks, but he's coming second behind Brook Lopez. He's averaging 2.7 and a steal, and the Lakers are the 7th best defense and have been, over the last 10 games, the 2nd best defense behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. So out of these 2 players, who would win it now? Gobert. But I think that AD can claim it by the end of the season. That'll be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video.